3 up, 2 across, tap that play button 3 times, and walk through the archway into Dialogue Alley. Hello and welcome to the podcast. Dialogue Alley is a show about Harry Potter books, book translations, and all other things magical. I'm Eric from Nocturne Eric on Instagram, and with me is Carly from All the Pretty Books.
Hello.
Hello. And Melanie from the Harry Potter Collection.
Hi.
Hi. We have, one of our three has a bit of the giggles today. It's not Melanie.
It's not me. It's funny that it's not me, considering I'm looking up cheesy Harry Potter puns right now because I knew you weren't going to do a dad joke, so I wanted to be prepared with something, but I couldn't find a good enough one in time.
Well, we have some time left in this episode before it's over that you can insert one as you see fit.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
That'll work. All right, so the three of us are Harry Potter book translation collectors. We're so glad that you're joining us today because we're going to talk about something that is very specific yet very interesting. And today we're talking about the advanced readers editions of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, and Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. What are advanced readers editions, you may ask? Well, you will find out when we talk about them in a few short minutes. But before we do that, we're going to get to some news. And Melanie is going to tell us that news. So go ahead, Melanie.
So today for news, I know that you all are going to be very excited to hear this. I know that I was excited about this, but Vera Bradley just dropped their third Harry Potter pattern.
Ooh.
And it's really good.
Is it?
It's really good. I think it's a favorite, and everyone that was unhappy with the first pattern feels a bit of redemption with this one. It's a Forbidden Forest theme, so there's
green,
but
lots of green.
It's not green at all.
Oh,
sorry, Carly.
Sorry.
I don't care for Vera Bradley
not.
stuff. So I don't ever look at their store.
I mean, I used to work there, so I'm like very into all of their stuff, and I've been getting all of their Harry Potter stuff. The first one was like a just general Harry Potter kind of pattern. The second one that came out was like a herbology kind of theme. It was really nice. It's gray. I actually have it right next to me. Gray with like mandrakes on it. It has like cute little earmuffs. And then this one, it's a purple. It has the Whomping Willow. It has Buckbeak. It has dragons. It has acromantulas and thestrals and Hedwig and the Grimm. But it's really cool. So I haven't figured out what I'm gonna get from this pattern yet, but I'm gonna for sure get something because it's really, really nice. The second bit of news, which is probably quite a bit more interesting for everybody, is Out of Print, which is
I love Out of Print. I love their stuff.
So good. I feel like almost any Harry Potter fan knows about the Out of Print t-shirts, but if you don't know, they're the ones that show like the Mary Grand-Pré book art on the t-shirts.
I had all of those and they got stolen.
Well, you're in luck because
they found all of yours.
Yay!
That's not the case. However, they're on sale right now for 75% off. These shirts are usually $30 each. They are $7.50 a shirt. I just bought all of the shirts. I only had Sorcerer's Stone. I bought all of the rest of the shirts. So I got the other 6 for under $50.
I'm gonna
insanity.
Be there
Melanie, we were
evening.
looking at that at our household here. Is the shipping cost the same if you buy like 5 versus buying 1?
I'm pretty sure. So I think it came to like $50, including like tax and shipping. It was like $40 something without it, like doing the math. The thing is, it's limited styles and sizes right now. It's a lot of women's cut shirts.
Okay.
So if you're a girl and you're listening to this, or if you're not and you just prefer that kind of cut shirt, there are so many available, so many different sizes, and $7 for these shirts. Crazy. They're also the sweater socks, the Harry Weasley sweater socks and the Ron Weasley sweater socks are on sale for $3 a pair.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
I don't know what that is in galleons, but it's probably low.
I don't like socks
pretty low
because I don't like things on my feet, but I may buy those.
I think I already have a pair, but I paid full price for them way back, so I don't know. Do either of you have any other?
Yes, I have news. I have news. So the new translation, the new Macedonian translation, just dropped Goblet of Fire. I know that because my contact in Macedonia actually sent me the link to buy it, and he said if I can't get it from the shop he sent me the link for, he'll pick it up for me and mail it to me.
Huh, that's cool.
Yeah, so there is that. And then he was also talking about how they're looking at doing an adult edition, featuring adult cover art for the new Macedonian translation as well. So it looks like... Is
that going to be new?
It's the new translation, so...
No, but is it going to be new adult cover art? Or is it going to be...
I'm not sure.
Art.
Since they're using non-unique art for the new translation, I'm pretty sure it'll just be Bloomsbury adult art.
Okay.
But I don't...
Keep me posted on that.
I don't know. It could be new art. I don't know. I would love to see new art here because there's so many wonderful artists in Macedonia. So I would love to see them feature one of them and feature their style of art and that kind of thing and bring it into the Harry Potter realm. But, that may not happen. We'll see.
All right. Keep us posted.
Yeah, that's the plan.
I think it's also worth reminding everybody that there are a lot of things coming out book-related.
Yes.
In the next month.
October is going to be crazy.
So, yeah, it's a ton. So in October, we have the Mina Lima Chamber of Secrets book, which looks amazing.
I can't wait.
You guys were wait. You guys were supposed to remind me in August to pre-order that, and I didn't.
We're only a month late. That by the by.
Sorry. Go
pre-order it when you're done.
Okay.
So we have the Mina Lima Chamber of Secrets Illustrated Edition, which looks awesome. We're actually probably going to do a deeper dive into the first Mina Lima illustrated book for Philosopher's Stone / Sorcerer's Stone in a few episodes from now, which will be exciting. We also have the Jim K Magical Year. Carly's reserved 10 copies of this book.
I can't wait. I love them as much as I currently love all my Funko Pops, which I'm selling off by the by.
So you should pre-order that one if you like the Jim K art. Should be kind of interesting. And then we still have the 25th anniversary Bloomsbury Philosopher's Stone book that's up for pre-order as well. So
lots to buy, as Hagrid says.
Doesn't Christmas Pig come out in October as well?
Christmas Pig is out in October, and Jim somebody, not Jim K, but Jim somebody did the illustrations, and Jo was being interviewed. She said she really enjoyed his work, so it should be great.
I'm excited for that. That'll be cool.
Yeah, if you're a Harry Potter fan or just a J.K. Rowling fan in general, there is stuff for you.
Yes, so lots to buy. I think that's it for the news, though.
Yeah, why don't we talk about some advanced reader copies?
Yay! So the main segment, we're going to talk about advanced reader copies, or AKA ARCs or ARCs, depending on who you're talking to. All are fine and accepted. And so what they are in general, because in the US, advanced reader copy or advanced reader copy, things like that, they're sent out to members of the press, they're sent out to early reviewers, they're sent out to get feedback, get the quotes on the back of the book, feel how the book is going to be received, generate, if it's a new author, drum up press, that kind of thing is what they're used for. And
this is for all books, right, Carla?
Right,
it's
in
not
general,
just Harry Potter.
In general,
it's
not
for
just
all
Harry Potter.
books in the U.S.
Right.
So there is a I am a part of It's called the librarything.com. And what they do is they do lots of different things with libraries, but one of the things that they offer are early review copies to certain people who sign up for them. It's a lottery-based deal because there's only so many early review copies, right? They're very limited. And so what they do is you sign up and then you're mailed an advanced reader copy. You read the book, you write a review for it. It goes on their website, and there are requirements like you must prove you've read the book. You must have a really good review. It must meet this, so many word feedback limit, blah, blah, blah. That kind of thing. I actually have gotten a few advanced reader copies from different authors doing that. You don't get one every month, but what they do is like the more you are, if you're sent one and you write a really good review, you have a better chance of getting another one to write a better review for. If you get a book and you don't review it, you're out. Like that's how it goes. But
that's super cool. I didn't know about that.
It's a really cool way to see to read what's coming out. It's a free thing to join. It's, librarything.com. I've been on it since 2009 anyway. And I've read some wonderful books doing that. I've been introduced to some wonderful authors actually via that. For just the cost of my time to read the book and write the review.
Awesome.
So that is a way to get advanced reader copies.
If you like reading, I would say sign up.
Yep. And they even have advanced reader copies that can be emailed to you for just digital books only too. So lots of interesting stuff there. So that's in general what an advanced reader copy is. Sometimes the cover art is going to be different from what they see from the published book because the art's either not done, they haven't decided on the artist, it's just not ready for whatever reason.
Sure.
The cover can be different. It's not always the case. But moving along to Harry Potter advanced reader copies, or ARCs, we'll go, I guess, in chronological order and start with Sorcerer's Stone.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm pulling mine out.
It was on my list, Carly, of books to get.
Recently. Yeah, and I helped you get it.
You did.
It was so funny. I think it was December, January, something like that. And Eric was like, well, I think in this year I'm going to buy this book. It's on my list of things to buy. And a few weeks later, he's like, here you go. And he's like, cool.
You're like, there's one on eBay right now. I'm like, okay, I bought it.
And it was a solid deal.
It was. And the thing about these, and I'm sure you'll talk about them, but like you just mentioned, these books, it is so rare to find an advanced reader copy that is in fantastic condition because the entire purpose of these books is for someone to read them. And in the case of these books, which I'm sure you'll talk about, there's a letter in the front of the Sorcerer's Stone version. You're encouraged to share it with as many people as you can because, like you said, they're trying to drum up excitement. They're trying to create a buzz around this book because they want people to go buy it when it hits retail shelves.
Right. I also think it's important to say that we're only talking about the U.S. books. The British Bloomsbury books also have advanced reader copies called proofs, but there's lots of differences between the advanced reader copies out of the U.S. and the Bloomsbury proofs. So we're not going to discuss the Bloomsbury proofs at all today. We're just going to talk about the U.S. advanced ARC things.
Yes.
Okie doke. So moving on.
Okie doke.
So one of the things that I really love just is how the book feels in my hand, right?
We're not there yet, Carly.
We're not there yet,
it's not a translation of the show.
I know, but I love how the book feels in my hand. That was one of the things when it came in the mail, because I've had my copy since 2009. So when mine came in the mail, I was like, this feels so cool. And I actually bought it first. I found a really good deal on eBay in 2009 for $250 for my book one. So I just snagged it. And even at the time, they were going for $450. Now you're looking at 1,000 plus, and it's not uncommon to see them going for, in fine condition, upwards of $1,500.
I will say, Peter has a few for sale. He has one of each for sale on his website, and he's selling the set of 3 for $3,000, which honestly, that's a steal for all 3 of them in as good condition as they are.
And we'll get into the condition. You see a lot of we'll get into the condition really more in book 2 because it becomes a problem. So anyway, moving on.
Yes.
So in book 1 only, we have a letter from, and my spine is not cracked at all, so I can't hardly read the letter. But we have a letter from Arthur A. Levine, who is the editor. He's the one who actually went to a book fair, and he fell in love with Harry Potter, and he brought it forward. He's the one who actually bid on the book when the rights were up for sale, and all these other publishers were trying to buy the book. He actually bid and won the book. So he's the one who is instrumental in bringing Potter to us. And so there's a letter from him in the front of this, the Sorcerer's Stone Advanced ARC copy that is just so cool. So if you can, sit and read it. I can't really open mine up, so I can't really look at it.
All I want to read is the last line here, which I think is outstanding. And like you said, it shows that he really thought this was something special and knew it was going to be a big deal, because in the letter it says, "I predict you'll also face another quandary, whether to share this book with a friend or to keep it for yourself, knowing how much this reader's edition of J.K. Rowling's first book will be worth in years to come. Enjoy."
Yep. And he was probably, he may have thought, it was kind of funny to say that and just kind of being, funny, but he's really accurate. These are actually worth quite a bit of money. Also, it's interesting on the back of all the advanced ARCs in the US is we have uncorrected proof, not for sale on the back cover, which I've seen some people, there's actually a little bit of a weird thought around advanced ARCs when they come up for sale in the marketplace. There's a lot of people who are very against their resale, even though it's completely legal to do. It's not a black market item, because they weren't for sale to the public to begin with. None of these were ever for sale to the public. You couldn't go to Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, none of those, and buy them on the shelves. They were never for sale. They were just mailed out by the publisher, so the author never received any royalties off of it. And then so that upset some people in, the resale of them, although the author receives no money from any resold item, unless it's a weird deal. But it can sit weird with certain people. And I've only, in the last probably 4 years, really seen that come to light. When I was talking with some of my book collectors who are very against collecting advanced reader copies for that reason. So there's that. And then there's also some people who are confused by the not for sale, and they take that to mean always not for sale, just a blanket not for sale. What it really means is it's not for sale to the public on the initial release. You can't go to Barnes & Noble, like I was saying, and buy it. But moving on, we have, because they're trying to drum up publicity for this book, and this is the very first book from the author, they have, winner of the British National Book Award, Children's Book of the Year, winner of the Smarties Prize, just trying to say, yo, really good author here. We think you should read it. They also have the Guardian quote on the back of the book that if you've followed any kind of collect or anything, that is the Guardian quote that winds up on the back of the first state jacket that we see on Sorcerer's Stone. That's also on the back of this book, which is so cool, right? And then they have a summary.
So cool.
Yeah, they have a summary, and then they have, coming in September 1998, they have an approximation of the first printing copies, which here they have 30,000. If you talk to Scholastic later, they'll say first printing copies were closer to 35,000. Both are still kind of accepted within the collectorship. National advertising, while all the promotional stuff that's going to be done for the book. What the ISBN is, the initial offer price was $16.95, 320 pages, black and white illustrations. And it just kind of gives a rundown of what to expect out of the book. I think that is so cool. And you see that on, or something similar to that on all the ARCs, which I think is just so nifty.
Yeah, that's we talk about it on this book. I don't think we need to read the stats for the next two books as well,
no.
but because they're very much the same, right?
They are. The only thing that I'll point out when we get to the stats on the books is how much bigger the first printings are.
Oh, I think we could talk about that right now because I'm looking at them and I'm noticing that right away. So you said the first one's 30,000.
Yeah, 30 to 35.
Chamber of Secrets says 250,000, and the Azkaban says 500,000. So it's significantly going up.
And I think it's important to say that those are just estimates, right? Because there are arguably 3 states of Book 2, the Scholastic Book 2, and for sure there are 2 states, arguably 3, and I'm pretty certain that the 250,000 for Book 2 is just meaning the initial first print copy and not the second and third state first prints, which were kind of weird. So there's that. Also importantly, Chamber of Secrets, ARC, tends to be the one that is always in the worst shape. I don't know why, but like it is so hard to find a Chamber of Secrets advanced copy without sunning or fading to the spine.
Yep. Mine is so beautiful. Like the cover is crisp. The pages are like very white in comparison to my other two. Like the texture of the cover is very intact. It's not marked up, except for the fact that the spine is literally blue. And you could see on the you could see on the cover where another book was clearly laid on top of it to outline where it was hit by the sun, and it is so sun damaged. Like, how does this happen?
Most of the Chamber of Secrets ones that I've seen, and I would say a solid upwards of 95% of the Chamber of Secrets advanced reader copies that I've seen since 2009, since I've been doing this, and my own personal copy also has the same issue with this, fading spine. I don't know that they were necessarily warehoused very well, because it is such a predominant issue. Like, I've seen Peter always seems to dredge up fine copies. Adam seems to find fine copies, but even he has one that has a faded spine. So it is that common. If you look for the ones on eBay, even I know collectors in Australia who have copies with faded spines, and the only reason that I say that they may not have been all warehoused super properly is because or maybe they were kept in someone's office before being mailed out. I don't know. But you don't see the sunning problem or fading problem with the other two. So even if they were sent to a different group of people, it's such a widespread problem that I have a hard enough time believing everybody they mailed the book to, or the majority of everybody they mailed the book to, just left it out in the sun to get faded right on the spine. Mm-hmm.
I wonder also, like, because these are advanced readers copies, they're not using the best materials necessarily, because they don't want to spend a lot of money on this. It's a free copy. So I am very confident in my guesstimation here that, like, it probably fades a lot quicker than any of the actual
most definitely
published books.
I mean, these rub very easily. All three of them do, meaning like it's very easy for the cover to, or like the ink to chip off the cover, because
yep, I got a lot of that going on in my spine. Right.
It's so easy for it to do, and it hits another book, and you start getting this chipping going on, and then you see this white peeling through. And it's unsealed. They didn't, and same with the paper, actually. So if you're handling these, you need to actually make sure your hands are super clean of all the oils, because the paper doesn't have any kind of plastic coating. It is just paper. So you're going to get brown markings really quickly from like flipping through, thumbing through, and whatnot, because it's not protected paper. It's not meant to last a long time. Were literally meant to be consumed, tossed, thrown away, read the review, and move on.
Yep.
So a lot of that has, probably happened over the years, especially with, the early ones. And then we move on to like book 3. And what's so interesting about book 3 is we had a lot go on between books 2 and 3 in the publication history, because, in UK, we had, Chamber of Secrets came out in 98, 1999 saw Azkaban come out. Well, in US, we saw Chamber of Secrets and Azkaban come out in 98 or 1999, and they were pretty pushed forward because there was actually a lawsuit. People were really upset in the US that they could not buy Chamber of Secrets, so they were buying across the pond and having them mailed back here. So it's actually possible to find first prints of Chamber of Secrets that was just somebody who bought it here, and they had it mailed over. And there was a lawsuit. I believe Scholastic sued. They may have sued Bloomsbury. They sued somebody, I believe. It's been a while. I'm not looking at the Wikipedia page, but there's a lawsuit, and it's the outcome of the lawsuit is why, with Goblet of Fire book 4, that all of the books came out on the same day between US and UK, because the demand was that high. So because we had, and the publication date because of the lawsuit and all of the demand and all the stuff, the publication for book 3 was pushed forward, to sooner. And so Mary Graham Perry was not done with the cover art for book 3. So that's why book 3, we have the purple and black, diamond pattern on the books instead of the book 3 cover art.
And this,
So cool.
of all the three, like, you can tell they're trying to get these out faster and faster. Book 1 has all the chapter art in it. Book 2 has about half of the chapter art in it. Like, the very first chapter is blank. The next chapter has art, and then it's kind of hit or miss after that. The third one, there's nothing. Like they try to get it, and they're even giggling about it on the back. Like, on the first book, they're trying to talk it up. Like, this book's great, you should read it. In the third book, it's just a paragraph about, like, we know you liked the first ones a lot, and so we've moved it up like a full year. And
also, what's interesting is the dedication page in book 3. Like, it'll say, like, at least in the proofs, I haven't checked in the U.S. advanced ARCs, but the British proofs, it says dedication, the word dedication, and then a question mark. And we have the dedication page, but it's just a blank piece of paper. And I don't know if books 1 and 2 actually have, like, dedication or have dedication question mark like you see in the proofs, or if you just have a blank piece of paper like you see in book 3. I haven't checked. And I believe the front, Prisoner of Azkaban, I don't know. They do nothing with the art. Like, they were just trying to get it out at that point.
Yeah. It's cool diamonds.
Yeah.
That was actually, before I decided I wanted all 3 of these, I wanted just one of them, and Azkaban was the one I wanted. Not only is it my favorite book, but it's, like, the weirdest of the 3.
I think it's the one I got first.
Yeah.
Yes. And they're actually, so it's interesting. Like, in the marketplace, book 2 is like out of the 3 of them, book 2 is the one that seems to be like the least valued, unless it's like in super fine condition or signed or something unusual. But book 2 is like, okay, it's cool, but I would rather have book 1 because it's book 1, or book 3 because, book 3 looks weird. And book 2 is just hanging out. Like, hey, I'm here, guys. So that's kind of a nitty-gritty rundown of the ARCs. They're really fun. I started collecting ARCs a long time ago because I love publication, the publication history of books fascinates me as much as the book. Like, I love all of that. When I was in grad school, I did so much stuff. I did so many things with books. I worked in special collections. I worked in a library. I worked with papyrus, and I worked with, old books doing different things. And we made paper. I learned how to bind books. It was, I loved them all. So I fell in love with, the book itself as a tangible thing, a tangible commodity, as well as the stories in them. So advanced reader copies, collecting them just kind of was like, I must do that.
And I think just for all 3 of us as fans of Harry Potter, right? Like, this is something that I don't want to see someone throw away.
Right. Like, could you imagine?
So, like, I'd rather pay money for it so that it's not going to be thrown away.
And what's cool about advanced reader copies, and I haven't thumbed through mine to see, but I do know for a fact in the Bloomsbury proofs, there are textual errors. Like, there's text that's been removed, taken out, put in. One of the things that they use the advanced reader copies for, the proofs for, is to, you're checking for continuity, you're checking for text errors, spelling errors, things like that. And yeah, they get missed, but not all the time. And so that's what they're looking for. So, I mean, they're, in theory, what's in the text block here in the ARCs may not exactly match up with what the published book is. And that's really cool. I just haven't read to find out if they're an exact copy or not, because my books are pretty much fine.
Right. That's kind of why I'm excited, because my book 1 that I got recently, it's like readable. Like, I could read it because someone has. So I kind of want to go through it and just check.
I mean, you could.
I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad thumbing through it because someone else has done it.
Well, if you do that, let me know, because I can't do that with mine.
I feel the same way. I want to do that with mine also. And when I got this book, it has a name written in the front, and I want to reach out to the person that's name is written here and just be like, hey, you know what you don't have anymore? I don't know. I don't know what I would actually do with that information.
Or you could have just asked what their opinion of the book was. Like, I just think that would be interesting. Like, you were an advanced reader for this book. Did you actually read it? Did you write a review? What'd you think?
Mine's definitely a kid, because it's got a kid's name written in it in like elementary school cursive, and then clearly another kid in the family took it and crossed off the first kid's name
Oh,
I love
and wrote
that.
his in front of the other last name and put an arrow up in front of the last name.
That's
So
precious.
it's
awesome.
two kids with the same last name, but they each read this book.
Chances
so
are they sent it to a
that's
parent.
pretty cool.
And the parent was like, I don't care, you read this.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Because
Tell me what you think about it.
Because that was the target audience anyway, were kiddos.
That's right.
So, yeah, I think that's probably what happened. So, yeah. I do think there's thought to be 3,000 advanced copies of book 1, book 2, and book 3 each. So 3,000 each. I believe that's been confirmed. 3,000 copies have been confirmed for book 1, but I don't know if it's been confirmed for books 2 and 3. So we don't know. But 3,000 copies is actually a lot for reader copies. Like, for example, the Bloomsbury proofs, it's like in the hundreds, like small hundreds, like 150, 250, 300, things like that. So very minimal were made. And then because it's the first of the series from a brand new author, probably many were tossed, which just breaks my little heart.
Aw.
But,
But it makes you think that same thing happened to other books of other like notable
oh, I'm sure.
authors.
And
right?
importantly, only the first 3 books have advanced reader copies, because by book 4, everybody knew who Harry Potter was, right? The movies were out. Harry Potter fandom wasn't growing to be, or the movies were being made. The movies came out in 2001, book 4 was 2000, but the movies were drumming up a lot of publicity. They were casting, they were, starting to do circuits. They were, really drumming up publicity. So, and Harry Potter was really a thing. Release parties were starting to be a thing. Harry Potter mania was really starting to grow starting in the year 2000. So they didn't really need advanced reader copies. Everybody knew who Harry Potter was. And importantly, they really needed to start safeguarding the story.
Yeah.
So they never made any advanced reader copies past book 3. Anybody else have anything to add or any questions?
I just feel like I learned quite the plethora of information in this topic. And these are books that I've had and I researched before I got them, and I just learned a lot. So thank you for being so
Yay!
knowledgeable.
Yay.
Good job, Carly.
Thank you. This is one of my favorite things to talk about, no lie.
Well, it's one of my favorite things to listen to you talk about because, like Melanie just said, it's the answers to like all of my questions, and so you can just talk about it, and without me asking a question, you already answered them all.
Oh, well, that's cool. I didn't think I said a whole bunch, so that makes me feel better.
Anytime.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Well, let's quickly move on to our translation of the show.
So the translation of the show today is a book I'm so excited about. And it seems so boring. And if you just look at it, it's such a, like, maybe you think it's boring, but this is one of my favorite books. I am talking about, I'm laughing because you guys think I'm crazy, but I'm talking about Slovak.
Not the 20th anniversary Slovak, right?
No, and I love those books, like, probably more than I love this book, but this is just straight up Slovak.
I think I know why you love this book, because I have the same affinity for it.
Oh, we're gonna get to it. So I'm gonna try this. The translator of the Slovak edition is Jana Petrifikovicova. Petrificus.
Fun fact.
Kokovicova.
Sounds good.
Fun fact that actually, like, Harrison and I, Harrison got to talk to her because we asked if we could use a recording of her on our Book That Lives project, of her reading the Slovak thing. She declined reading it for us, but she said we had her full permission to have it read.
Very cool.
So,
well, that's good.
Very, very nice.
She gave her permission. Very cool. So that's the translator. The publisher is Ikar. I wouldn't know
I'd say
how else
that.
to pronounce it.
I'd go with that, or Icar. I don't know.
iCar.
Either sounds good.
iCarly.
Ha 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 ha. I me.
It's a show, Carly. You don't know that iCarly's a show?
I do. I call it I me.
I me. It's I me. Oh my goodness. All right, so some general information about the Slovak language. Slovak is a West Slavic language of Czech Slovak group. It's written in Latin script. When you open this book, for the most part, you can kind of pronounce it because, we use the Latin script. It's spoken by approximately 5 million people as their native language, primarily ethnic Slovaks, and it serves as the official language of Slovakia. And it's one of the 24 official language of the European Union. So cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, and it's closely related to Czech, to the point where they are very mutually intelligible, and it's pretty close also to Polish. So it's really neat.
Let's get to the tots, Melanie.
Let's get to the tots. I'm very excited. All right, everybody, open your books, take a big whiff, and tell me what you think.
It's outstanding. It is outstanding.
This book, it's the perfect smelling book. I can't get my nose out of it.
I think we've talked about
it's
how
perfect.
this one set the standard for smelling books.
It did. This is the definition of outstanding. I feel like I cannot give another book an outstanding for smell because this book is the outstanding. It's just phenomenal. Right. It smells so good.
Yes.
Everyone go home, take out your Slovak books and just smell them. Oh, so good. Size and proportion of this book also
really well done.
I would give this book an outstanding also. For size and proportion, it is so nice. It is definitely smaller than our American edition books, but it is nice. It's not as narrow as the Czech books, but it's slightly wider, and it's slightly thicker. I don't know. Size and proportion, outstanding for me. Love.
I
love,
agree.
Love.
And we're not going into how it feels in the hand yet. We're not there, but I love when I'm holding it this spot, the front cover just kind of falls open, even when it's brand new, so it makes it easier to read. You don't have to worry about cracking the spine.
No.
Yeah, the pages have a nice, natural curve to them.
Yes.
It's just great.
Outstanding.
And by great, I mean outstanding. By great, I mean outstanding.
Oh, yeah.
It's the tot scale, not the TOG scale.
Right.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you very much. How the book feels in your hands? Outstanding. It feels outstanding in your hands.
Outstanding.
It is.
Yep.
The texture of the cover is smooth as butter. It's so
It's got
nice.
a really good laminate on the cover.
It's so good. Even the sides of the covers are perfectly rounded. So you run your fingers across them and it's just so satisfying. This book it's just outstanding. Outstanding book.
And
Beautiful.
and I love the spine of the book, how it has the diamond pattern on it. At least mine does.
It's so nice. And it's beautiful. It's so beautiful.
It's just a really well done book.
I know. Need I say more? We have 2 categories left. Quality. Can we talk about quality? Because the quality of this book is a straight up outstanding. I'm so excited about this book.
I think you should be you'd be the perfect pitch person for this book on TV right now.
The thing is when you look on my shelves, there are so many other books that look so appealing, beautiful cover arts, unique cover arts, and this Slovak book that I hold in my hand brings so much joy to me because it is just the perfect Harry Potter book.
It's the best example of a well-made book.
It's just outstanding. Quality. Outstanding. It's the paper is nice and thick.
Mm-hmm. And it's well bound. It's actually a well bound book. It'll handle being read very well.
Oh, Totally. Absolutely. Like I said before, the cover is very hard, very durable, very thick. Even like the texture of it like won't mark up easily. It just feels rich in your hands.
Right.
Outstanding.
I like that. That's a very good adjective. Very, very rich. There you go.
It's very rich. And then just cover art interpretation. Obviously, I know that this is Mary Grand Pré, but the way that they interpreted the Mary Grand Pré art on this book by doing the high contrast white font with shadowing, outstanding. It's beautiful. It is bold. You see it from a mile away. This is a Harry Potter book. Like, it's phenomenal.
My only
perfect book.
Don't
say anything. Don't say anything.
You know what I'm going to say
bad about this book? What
about the
what
cover? The only thing that I don't like.
Let me say, J.K. Rowling. They changed her last name. That's what I would say.
I think that's very unique and exciting because linguistically, that's what you do.
Right.
I don't like the number 1.
I was going to say maybe the number 1 on the front.
I don't like the 1 because, well, 2 things. I don't like that it's there because I don't think it's necessary because it's on the spine. But 2, I don't like that they just plopped it on top of stuff when everything else is kind of in its natural place. That doesn't cover up anything.
It doesn't gel with you.
It doesn't gel with me. I could have done without the number 1. Now that is so nitpicking this book because it is outstanding in every way. I just don't like the big number 1 on the front.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Right.
What I will say about the number 1 on the front is it's very helpful for your friends that are traveling to Bratislava and are looking for a book for you, and they don't know anything about Harry Potter, and they can look at this book and go, "Oh, that's number 1."
Without,
where number?
But
one?
they can tell on the spine too.
They can.
Either way.
Yeah, you're right. It's on the spine. Either way, that is honestly the only thing that I don't love about this book. I love everything, absolutely everything else about it.
Everything else about this book.
It is an incredibly outstanding book. I can't say anything.
That's it.
Much better about it.
Like, just to sum it up, outstanding book. It's one of my favorite books that I have on my shelves. And I have to say, the only improvement that has happened with these books is the fact that they came out. I could cry because it makes me so happy. They came out with an entire set of Slovak books with original cover art. It's the whole set, and they all smell so good. Like, that's the only thing that could have possibly made a Slovak book better is that there's original art. The books are phenomenal, and they smell fantastic. Like, we need to do a whole episode just on that box set because I would be so passionate about that set. It's my favorite set. It's
one of the many reasons why I love you so much.
It's the little things.
When I get settled and, back home and stuff like that, I need to buy that box set because I don't have it
I do
yet.
too, Carly. Carly, we could go and save some shipping. They'll send us like a giant suitcase with 2 giant
Speaking
boxes
of going
it was
and
such
saving,
an easy
saving
buy.
Some, well,
it was an easy buy.
Just
saying.
Give the information to Eric. He'll figure it out, and then he'll also get us set with the new Taiwanese books, which.
I know. I just have to stop spending money, people. I can't.
Well, you don't have to buy for you. I've asked you. I mean, I've asked since like May.
I know, but if I'm buying them for you, I'm buying them for me too.
Fine,
I'm not going to buy 2 different
but I don't.
transactions.
What if they quit making them and we miss our window, and then we're back having to hunt for them? I've gotten so used to being able to just buy them from publishers. What am I going to do? Take our own advice and this is how you go find hard to find things again. I don't want to do that again. I've gotten lazy.
Yeah. It happens.
We'll get them. I'm not worried. We'll get them.
Okay.
I could go on for hours about this book, but
and you can tell by the pitch in your voice that you can.
I could.
She'll be talking about the font, they use this font and it's perfect and it fits, and look at how this K looks compared to the L. It's just so good. That'll be Melanie.
It's definitely your bedtime right now, and like you don't sound tired in the slightest. So like next time you go somewhere that you think you're gonna be tired or sleepy, you should just like bring this in your purse.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna put this in my Vera Bradley Harry Potter tote.
There you go.
And I'm bringing it with me to work tomorrow, and I'm just gonna show everyone this book, and they're gonna smell it and appreciate it as much as I do, because it's just the perfect Harry Potter book. It's perfect.
Do it.
Yeah, as much as I could go on talking about the Slovak book for a million hours, I think that's all we have time for tonight.
Probably.
But you could go and tell your husband more about it. And your daughter.
Wait. You could actually, her first Harry Potter books could be the Slovak set.
And you know what? They're such high quality that they would probably hold up to my 7-month-old.
That is also true.
There you go.
Try ripping a page out of this book.
Yeah,
kid.
take that.
And then when it happens, you're going to cry. So
but not that badly, because it's not difficult to find this book.
No.
So you can just buy another one.
Not...
And then it'll smell even better, because it'll be brand new.
My book smells really, really good. Actually, Melanie and I have talked about how this book set the bar for good smelling books.
It is. This is the outstanding. No other book is outstanding to me. The highest any other book would be exceeds expectations in comparison.
I think it's time to stop smelling our books, because that is all the time we have today. Sorry, Melanie.
She's going to smell it when we're done.
It's fine.
That's true. You can do it on your free time. So... We don't have any time for a listener question today, but if you have a listener question or you just want to comment about something or ask us any questions, you can find the Instagram page for this podcast, which is at Dialogue Alley Podcast. You can see pictures of things and send us messages. You can also send us an email, which is dialoguealleypodcast@gmail.com. You can also send us all messages on Instagram if you want to just talk to one of us or ask one person a question. Again, I'm on there at Nocturne Eric, Nocturne with a K and Eric with a K. Carly's on there at All the Pretty Books. Melanie is on there at the Harry Potter Collection. And you can find this podcast, which you're listening to, on whatever service you're listening to it on right now. Or you can yell at your Amazon Alexa to play the Dialogue Alley podcast. And you know what? She'll do it for you.
Yay.
I bet your Google Nest would do it too.
I'm sure it would.
Because we are on Google Podcast, too. We are on Apple, Google, Spotify,
Audible,
Pandora, iHeart, Audible. We're on all those things. So listen to it. Tell your friends to listen to it if they like Harry Potter.
And leave us a review.
If you would, please leave us a review. Written reviews are really great. They help our show grow and reach new listeners. They also help people that are just thumbing through going, hey, there's another Harry Potter podcast. What's this one about? It gives them a little more details than just... saying, oh, people like it, but why?
Right.
They can answer that question. Why do you like it?
Right. So do that for us. We'll be much obliged.
We would. So now it is time to walk back through the archway into our daily lives, and we'll catch you next time on Dialogue Alley. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye.
See ya.